everyone, and welcome to episode 6 of the Midwest Take. I'm your host, as always, Jacob, and I'm here with my co host.
Josh, as always.
Yep, Josh. Josh, how are we doing on this lovely night?
Good. It's
Always
getting
good with you.
closer,
Always
closer,
good.
closer to Christmas.
Closer to Christmas.
Every week we're getting closer.
Do you believe in Mariah Carey unthawing from her depths? She's
I
slowly.
believe the best way to listen to a Mariah Carey Christmas album is
Hmm.
to throw it out your window as you're driving.
Whoa, not a Mariah fan. Not a Mariah fan over here.
I'm a firm believer if your car is making bad noises, you should go to
Oh.
your local mechanic. He will eject the Mariah Carey Christmas CD out of your
Yeah,
CD player, and your car will no longer be making that bad noise.
that's what we're leading with is Mariah Carey is
I'm just messing around.
Mariah. If you're out there,
Haters,
we're available.
haters.
Don't worry. Don't no. We're here for you, Mariah. Don't you forget it.
I'm just joking.
But
I just like the memes.
yeah, welcome to episode 6 of the Midwest Take, and we're here. And I think this episode we had our last two episodes were kind of themed oriented. I think this one we're just kind of spitting whatever comes off the top of the dome. Um, I guess I'll start off with kind of what I've been up to a little bit lately. Um, recently, recently, my father and I, we actually, uh, we actually maybe did a little bit of a pheasant hunt, a little bit of a pheasant hunt earlier. Um, we are, of course, Midwest boys, and we love our Midwest activities. And one activity that me in particular, I love, I love hunting for the most part. I hunt quite a yeah, not like as much. Like I primarily what I hunt is pheasant, and if you can believe it or not, I actually hunt mourning dove too. Um, I always get looks from other people that look at me weird when I say I hunt mourning dove, because they're like, "Oh, why would you shoot the little birds? Like, why would you ever do that?" No, they're a pest. They need to be exterminated for population control.
I'm just wondering if you ever hunt evening doves.
Maybe I'll be hunting some twilight doves later, or dusk doves or whatever. But morning doves, they're a fun activity. But they're only there for a little bit. You got to get them like the first day.
Gotta get them by noon.
You got to get them the first day, or right bright in the morning, right bright in the morning, and before you know it, you might have 2 good days of dove hunting, and you're done for the whole entire season. No more, no more.
So what do you do with the doves? You cook them up, or
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
what's good? What's good? What do you make
They
out of morning dove?
they are a delicacy in in the household. We actually, what we do is we take the bird, we fillet the breast meat off the bird, and it's basically at that point it's like a little chicken nugget. Basically at that point, it's just a little chicken nugget, and you wouldn't think you'd get a lot of meat off the bird, and you really don't. So basically, to make them a little bit better, what we do is we make them into dove poppers. We make them
Poppers.
we make them into poppers. So yeah, we bacon wrap them.
Okay,
We ba-
I'm following.
we bacon wrap them, and then we take a jalapeno and we put a slather of cream cheese on top
Oh God.
and put it on top, and then we wrap it with the bacon
I
to
think
keep everything together.
I think you got me at bacon and jalapenos and cream
Yep,
cheese.
and then we skewer them with a toothpick, and they go in the oven for a solid, I don't know, a solid 15, 20 minutes maybe, and they
Damn.
come out, and man, they are electric. They are
Damn.
some of the best eating. I'm a big cream cheese guy. I can basically take down a whole block of cream cheese by myself, maybe more, maybe more. I'm a big cream cheese fan.
Whoa, shit! Cream cheese with jalapenos
Oh,
plus bacon
man,
and
yeah, and Dove on top of that
Dove.
too. Yeah,
Oh my
yeah,
god!
and Dove is a little bit gamier. It's not really, doesn't really taste like chicken meat. It tastes a little bit more. It's a darker meat. It's kind of in between, but it's still really good eating, in my opinion. Uh, but recently we just did our first pheasant hunt of the year. We haven't got out since our busy schedules and whatnot. Um, so I will regale you about the opening day that we went pheasant hunting in Iowa. Iowa just opened not that long ago, about 2 weeks ago now, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was I was pleasantly surprised on how good uh, the hunting the hunting was at the opener days of the season. Josh, are you have you ever hunted before?
No, I think I would like to. I have a friend that goes deer hunting every year, and he wants
Yeah.
me to go with
Ooh,
him sometime. And I'm like,
ooh,
that's
deer jerky. Ooh,
yeah.
ooh,
I've never went hunting, so it'd be definitely be an interesting experience.
ooh,
I would
big
definitely
fan.
go if someone said, "Hey, you want to go hunting?"
Yeah.
I would definitely go. I just never had anybody ask.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I've only been deer hunting once, and we probably sat down on like a tree line and a hill for probably a solid 4 hours. And finally, like a mama and her two doe, like the two children came prancing through, and me thinking as like an 11-year old, I'm like, I'm not gonna shoot. I'm not gonna cause a Bambi situation right here. So I didn't want to shoot. I didn't want to kill the mama. No way. And she had two little babies with her too, two little
And
fawn.
then your dad was like, "Do it."
Yeah, she was like, Jake, shoot her in the ass. I'm like, what? What are you saying to me, Dad? I'm like, no, I'm not,
So what'd you do?
because by the time, so I'll admit, this was one of my blunders. My only deer time hunting deer is you start to build up a little bit of an anticipation, a little bit. So this one doe and her two little fawn following right behind her start to walk out in this giant open field pretty much that we were looking into. And so you just see her slowly but surely keep on walking, walking.
Just prancing.
And I'm looking at this doe, and the anticipation is killing me on the inside. It's just absolutely like
Mhm.
corrupting my whole system to where I start to crack underneath the pressure. I start to laugh.
You started laughing.
I started laughing because I'm just like so anxious to like, oh my God, it's right in front of me, but I gotta wait till it gets like 100 yards closer for me to get a good shot and actually take it down. Yeah, I started laughing.
How that end for you?
Yeah, I started getting a little bit of a giggle, and my dad nudged me. He's like, Jake, shut up, shut up. And then the deer heard me laugh, and all of a sudden, yeah, the deer started running away. And my dad was, yeah, in that moment, he's like, Jake, shoot her in the ass. I'm like, no, no, I can't, I can't. So I blundered very hard as a 11 or 12-year old when I first went
So you
deer
said that
hunting.
was the only time you went deer hunting?
That was the only
Does
time I ever.
something about that deer hunting correlate with the fact that he's never taken you deer hunting again?
No,
Or he's just not a big deer hunter?
no, I just don't think that's in our wheelhouse
So you seem more
anymore.
like pheasants and
My
dove.
dad, he was a huge deer hunter at one point. He actually had a whole deer stand. He would actually hunt them with a bow. He used to bow hunt them.
So that's crazy to me that people can hit a deer with a
Um,
bow and
as
take 'em
for
down.
why we never went, there's a few things that we never did again. It's kind of strange. It's like the same for me for duck hunting as well. I only went duck hunting my only one time my whole entire life, and then that was all. It was kind of like, oh, try it out for this one day, okay, no more, and then we never did it ever again. It's very strange. I might have to coming maybe in the next few years I might try a little deer hunting. I might try a little duck hunting again. Who knows? I don't know where the
Yeah, someday when you have kids, maybe take them out deer hunting or
yeah.
duck hunting.
Yeah, I think that'd be interesting. I think that'd be fun. But back to the topic on hand, the pheasants. The pheasants, yes. So pheasant season opened end of October, and of course, my father and I we went out just to road hunt. You can road hunt in Iowa, and you can walk fields and whatnot. And so the numbers are up, so we're thinking, oh yeah, things are gonna like be on the up and up. Like we're driving to the good areas. We're driving to where the population counts that the
How
DNRs do on the roads are
how good were
good.
the good
Um,
areas?
so east of where we are the good areas. So that's where we started driving. And we got out pretty late. Shooting times at 8 o'clock. We probably got out to our first field probably around 9. Probably around 9. So we're about an hour late. And so there's guys posted up on every single field. There's tons of trucks out on these fields. It's a complete you know bird mageddon of hunters going for these birds. Um, but we were very optimistic because before we started like getting into rope birdie territory, we saw pheasants cross the roads, but they were all by houses. And we're like, oh, wow, this is like the most birds we've seen in a long time. And so we finally get to our first field, and get this, right when we pulled up into the field, we actually get pulled over by the game warden. He pulls up
For
right
what?
behind us. So he didn't pull us over. We were already parked in the field. He just pulled up right behind us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he didn't pull us over. Um, game wardens, what they're just gonna do is they're just gonna be like, "Hey guys, how you guys doing? Whatever," and we're just like, "Oh yeah, how's it going? Yeah, this is our first field out. Yada yada yada. Oh hey guys, can we check your licenses? Make sure you're all legal.
Right, that makes sense.
Make sure you're all good, and we would just want to make sure everyone's all legal here." And so yeah, guy rolls up, and we start talking to this guy, and so then he started talking to us, and he's like, "Hey, yeah, can I see your guys' license?" And so we both have our licenses on our phone. And so my dad showed his license for the first time, and he looked at it. He kind of squinted. He was like, "Hey, so what's your date of birth?" And so my dad rattled off his date of birth. What's your address? And so he gave his address right away. And I'm like, that's kind of strange.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like something a game warden would normally do.
That's kind of strange, but okay, he's from Nebraska, in Nebraska, so maybe whatever. What my dad thinks happens is, say we have friends up in Iowa or whatever. What they could basically do is they could take a screenshot of their license and send it over to my father that lives in Nebraska, and so he would have a resident license on his phone. Just he would be a totally different guy.
Right, right.
But yeah, so I think it was as like a precaution to where if you weren't who you say you were, you wouldn't have memorized the address that was put on this
Well,
license, date
yeah.
of birth, and whatnot. So I think he was trying to check for that. And then so he gets up to me. He gets up to me and he's like, "Hey, can I see your license?" I'm like, "Okay, yeah, sure."
And yours is obviously an Iowa address, right?
Yes. My account. So I bought my actually license the day of. I bought it on the first of the season.
Right.
So I showed him it, and I had all the right information. He's like, "Hey, can I see your ID?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, sure, why not?" And so I get my ID. Address is all matched up. Sent me away. I was all good.
Yeah.
But he did ask me. He's like, "Hey, do you still live here?" I said, "Yes." When I don't, I haven't switched any addresses over. So,
Well, I
so
mean,
it was a little, a little leery, but everything matched up in the system. I was still technically good. I was still good. So there was no issue there, and so he let us on the way. So we hunt this first field. We have a dog with us, of course. Um, Not even like 50 yards in this field, flushed up a few pheasants, shot one, brought it down, couldn't find the bird. Sad. Um, Start walking a little bit more. My dad, he he got a bird, and then he probably should have had a second bird in that field. Couldn't get it. We just had feathers. But by the time we were done taking one walk down this field, the dog was pretty much done. The dog was done because the dog is the sad thing about a hunting dog's lifespan is if you don't keep up with them, they're gonna get fat and lazy and whatnot. And we haven't been doing the best job of keeping our hunting dogs in very good shape. Uh, if we had time, it's easy. But like my dad, he only has one day off of work. It's hard to work. How if he had 2 days off of work, it'd be a different story. But since he only has one day off of work, it's hard for him.
dogs.
Yeah, and she's a 7-year-old dog, so she's getting up
Yeah.
there in age. Um, but yeah, after one field, like we got to the end of it, the dog plopped right down on the ground, like just like
Oh boy.
laid down.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, so the dog, after we just took one walk down this field, was pretty much already done. And this was the first field. And we're like, oh,
You're
God.
like, man, this is too early in the day for this
Well,
dog to
yeah,
be giving
because
out.
we probably only walked for like 30 minutes and the dog's already kaput.
Oh boy.
And so we're like, ah, God, whatever. So we did the right thing. We didn't bring water with us, which I wish we would have. But we kind of stood there for like 10 minutes and just kind of let the dog recoup a little bit, let her kind of, lay down and rest.
That
Uh,
help?
yeah, oh, that helped immensely, immensely.
Good.
And so we take the field back and flush a few more birds. And my old man, he did get another bird out of that field. He did get
Oh,
another
good.
bird out of the field. I just heard a shot over to like my right, and yet I'm like, "Did you get the bird?" And he gave me the thumbs up going to the bird, and so he got the bird out. So, oh no, he only actually got two birds out of that field. Uh, yeah, he got the one at the beginning, and then no, he only got one. Yeah, he only got one. Sorry. A little while ago. I
All
don't
good.
remember.
All good.
But yeah, he only got one bird out of that field, and that was that one that we got on the way back. I should have had one, but we we got to that back to the truck, and the dog is just dead beat. Um, so we're like, okay, well, Iowa, so we can go road hunt for a while and still be good. Because in Nebraska, you can't actually road hunt in Nebraska, where he's located.
So what's the difference? Like you're just walking down the road looking for pheasants?
So in Iowa, you can actually ditch hunt. You can ditch hunt in Iowa. So where there's a ditch, you can hunt. Same with like South Dakota too. You if you see a bird and you're driving that is in the ditch, but say, the fence on the other side wasn't public, but there's a ditch in front of it, in Iowa, you can actually hunt that ditch because it's still, that would be considered public pretty
So
much.
what happens if it goes over the fence into the field?
If you shoot and kill the bird in the field, you can grab the bird as long as you don't bring your gun in there.
Oh,
But
okay.
but you have to shoot it, say from the gravel road or in the ditch, and then shoot it and then drop it in the field, and then so that is still your bird. You can legally trespass as long as you don't bring your gun in there. That's like hunter safety 101 that
Okay.
we were
Okay.
always taught. Um, we've done that on occasion where we shot them in a field, but then they went flying out to like a bare cornfield or whatever. But that wasn't public. Yeah, it's definitely you can do it. It's legal. But back to so in Nebraska, you can't do that. You can't road hunt in Nebraska. You have to walk a field exclusively in Nebraska. Now, people, I'm pretty sure do road hunt in Nebraska. Not very legal. That's not legal at all. You can't do that. But I've definitely seen people do that, and that's a big no-no in Nebraska.
Big old fine.
Yeah, they're very big on their practices in Nebraska. I find they're very their conservation efforts in Nebraska are way better. There, you have to all their habitat stuff is all managed very well.
Well, shoot, every lake there is like a state park, and
Yeah,
they charge you to get in.
that's true. That's true. Um, yeah, so we hunted the rest of the day. We found this other field. Dad actually he scratched one more bird out of that field. Um, that was cool. But I'm still like jaded how I still don't have a pheasant yet. I didn't have a pheasant. So I'm like, well, now I'm kind of looking for mine. And so we kind of road hunted a little bit more. And then we stumbled on this one place that had some really good cover, thick of birds, whatever. And but I still hadn't got a bird yet. I like it was coming down to the wire pretty much. It was shooting time ends at 4:30, and right now it was like 4:25. So it was basically the end of the day. And I'm like, Dad, well, this pretty much wraps it up like for the day. And he's like, well, I've gotten some of the best shooting in the final minutes of the day. So we'll see. And sure enough, we turn a left on a gravel, and there is four pheasants in the middle of the road. Four pheasants in the middle of the road, and we're like, "Oh my god!" So we rushed up towards them, and they're all dumb birds at the beginning of the season. They haven't been shot at yet. They are, um, yeah, just dumb birds. So they don't know how to react to trucks and whatnot. So we chase them into the ditch, and my dad just lets me out. He's just like, "All right, well, go get your first bird." I'm like, "All right, sounds good." So we drove a little past them. I basically ran towards them, chased the birds. I fired. I missed two shots. They were pretty, I would say they were doable, but not very. But luckily, I watched them land in the field where I ran into the field that was public, and I got one to flush up, and I got my first bird of the season.
Well,
So
there
I
you
was on the
go.
board
There you
for the
go.
day. On the bird. So we ended up 3 birds that day at the
Hey,
final
you didn't
moments
get
of that whole entire day.
you didn't get skunked.
Did not get skunked. Did not get skunked. So we were fortunate enough to actually get birds, which that made me happy because I've had so many years where there has just been no birds around.
I hear you. I've heard you
Yeah,
say like there's been a couple years where you didn't
it's
get any.
been kind of rough.
Didn't get any the whole season.
Yeah. Well, and maybe that was due to us like not doing it as like going as hard as we probably can, but things, life gets busy. Life gets
Yes, it
busy,
does.
and you can't do everything you want to do. But we're going to try to make a big effort, whenever we have the spare time to actually go
Good.
and go pheasant
That's
hunting.
good.
So yeah, I'm very optimistic for the rest of the season.
Well, at this point, probably in the next month, gonna be some ice on the lakes. You excited
Oh,
to do some ice fishing? I mean, it depends on the weather. Last year there was only maybe a
yeah,
month of good ice fishing.
yeah. Ice fishing. It is getting. It's getting pretty chilly. It's getting pretty chilly. I was just so last year. Last year was a bad time last year, just because we only really had like 2 weeks of winter
Yeah, I
from
was
what
gonna
I saw.
say we didn't even have a month. It was like
So
ice and then no ice.
yeah, so down for me, yeah, there was about a solid 2 week span where you could actually go ice fishing, which is my favorite thing to do for the fishing side. I don't really like open water fishing anymore for some reason. Um, eh, it's definitely a lot easier to kind of pick up and just go than ice fishing, because ice fishing you need so many different little things in your arsenal. But for some reason, I think ice fishing is just like my kind of flow when it comes to fishing nowadays. It's kind of crazy how much I've switched on regular fishing to ice fishing a lot more.
Well, we always go at least once a year, me and you, and you definitely always outfish me ice fishing.
Yeah,
It's really hard to set the hook ice fishing.
yeah.
Like
It
it's
it
way
just
different than open water
well, but
fishing.
you're more akin to open water fishing, aren't you?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I've seen you slay some bass.
Yes,
I've seen you catch a fair share of bass, which
I
I can't
do
seem to catch anymore.
catch a lot of bass using spinner baits.
Yep.
Later on, using turbo buzzes.
Yeah, and
But
we've done a fair bit of river fishing too.
I do like a good river fish. I should
Yeah.
get out and river fish now that it's like October,
Yeah,
November now.
October,
November
November.
now, but
Yeah.
yeah, now is probably the time to go before it gets. I mean, it's already cold, but you can still. I mean, you can still river fish now.
Sure.
Probably get some
Sure.
pike and muskie in the right places.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. I don't believe I've never seen
Little Sioux River,
out of
supposedly.
the Missouri slash like I've never seen anyone pull a northern or even a walleye out of there. I don't think they exist. I don't believe it. I've never seen it happen.
Must not be much of a population, at least. You
I
gotta know where
There
to go.
must not be. I've only ever caught catfish. Only ever caught catfish and drum.
Oh yeah, the Missouri definitely a lot of drum,
Yeah, a lot of drum in
a
there.
lot of sturgeon.
A lot of sturgeon too. Yeah, there's a lot of sturgeon. But yeah, I've been told, of course. Oh yeah, there's a northern, there's a muskies, there's walleye.
Well,
I'm
yeah,
like, yeah, I'm like BS. I haven't seen any of these
the
fish caught.
the Little Sioux supposedly has like 12 species of fish, and it's like
Yeah,
all I ever catch is
sturgeon.
little catfish in the Little Sioux.
Yeah, yeah. I've
Little
owned.
Sioux, it's little stony rollers.
Yeah, yeah.
The Big Sioux, it's like a lot of channel cat, and the closer you get to the Missouri, the better chance you're gonna catch sturgeon.
Right. Yeah, I probably should. Yeah, I would love to go do some more river fishing. I know for a stint there, I was basically river fishing like every single week. That was a few years back. What I would do is I would go out at like, I want to say 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock maybe,
At
and
night
yeah,
or in the morning?
late at night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, late at night. This would be late night fishing. Yeah, I would head out. I would head out to a little access at nighttime, 8 or 9 o'clock, and then fish until like damn near midnight.
What kind of bait would you use?
Oh, I would use sometimes stink bait, sometimes those little pellets that you put on
Oh,
like
you'd use those stink pellets?
a big old hook. I find that helps. Sometimes I would use a crawler,
Yeah, I was
whatever,
gonna say.
whatever's I was
I
kind of
mostly
thinking
use
about.
crawlers.
But those pellets, actually, I've caught a fair bit of catfish off those little pellet
Supposedly
deals.
that dough bait works not for catfish, but other
Mm,
stuff. I've never had that work.
yeah. But yeah, I actually really like doing that for a while. I'd bring like two lanterns with me, and I would just sit
Well,
out.
night catfishing is definitely fun.
Yeah, I would sit out, but it was a little, it was a little eerie,
A little sketchy.
a little eerie because I was all out by myself.
Yeah,
I
maybe
just
bring a
went by
friend.
myself. I didn't have anything to do. I had no one really to come with me at the time, so I just kind of just went by myself. It was kind of like a relaxing kind of deal. Um, Definitely had some good times, but yeah, when you kind of looked around you, it was pure darkness, and there isn't a light for miles.
Yeah, that would kind of freak me out. I would
Yeah,
definitely bring a
and
friend.
plus it was down kind of like a long stretch, and it had like trees all around this area, to where I was just waiting for the moment when I got back in my car driving out for someone to pop out of the woods. I always pictured someone would do that, like
Yikes.
big creepy kind of stuff. But I was fortunate that never happened. But it would have been a cool story if it did.
Yeah, I guess.
I'd been freaking out.
Well,
But
shoot. I love river fishing as much as the next guy, but this
yes.
summer kind of sucked because we had all that rain at the beginning of the summer, and
Oh
the Big
yeah,
Sioux flooded, the Little Sioux flooded. I
yeah,
mean, you really couldn't river fish, and I mean, it did go down. I mean,
yeah.
it barely rained for like 2 months towards the end of the summer,
That
but
the extent of that river damage just astounds me. Like on how much that river just completely flooded. Everywhere got flooded. All the
yeah, for real.
farmers were super impacted by it. It just completely made like life living hell.
Yeah,
You would see how the ditches all flooded, towns flooded. It was a bad time. It was a definitely bad time. And now we're seeing the vice versa. Like,
now it's too
yeah,
dry.
now we're seeing the consequences of that, because now it's way too dry out right now, to where there is just zero moisture in the air. You're hacking up a lung pretty much every single day. It's miserable, miserable.
Yeah, it's way too dry out.
Yeah, yeah. It just like, yeah, I think I about hack up half a lung every single day at this point now. There's just all that mucusy. Not a very fun time. Not a very fun time. Um, so
Hey,
Josh, what have you been up to lately? Have you been on any cool endeavors?
just
Any
on a work kick, man. Just
you on the
working.
work kick? On the work kick, got anything
Um,
in the fuel tank? Any possible future stuff that you're doing?
not really. You Black Friday shop at all?
No, sadly not.
It's not really Black Friday anymore necessarily. Like
No, I don't
most
think
stores are like Black Friday deals
I
all
don't
month.
think people really go out for Black Friday anymore.
Well, I do appreciate that they changed it.
Yeah,
Black Friday is actually Black Friday again.
right.
Because I mean, although I did enjoy like going with like my wife and family on like Thanksgiving at like
Right.
5 p.m.
Right.
As fun as it was, it's probably not right that they were
Mhm.
open that early.
I don't know. I guess I just don't really care about any of the good Black Friday deals. What's like the best what's like the best snag that you've gotten out of a Black Friday deal? What do you think? What's like the
Usually like video games or
No,
TVs.
yeah.
Video games usually pretty cheap.
Yep.
TVs are usually pretty cheap. Usually I always seem to get like either like the Google Minis or the
Oh,
Alexa
yeah.
Dots.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It'd be
Um,
practically giving those away.
yeah, I really don't Black Friday shop anymore because I feel like we're at a point where we don't really need anything.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are like that because flat screens got so cheap. It's it's not like it's a crazy deal anymore when they're selling a TV for $150, you know.
Yeah, I think the best thing I ever got from like a Black Friday deal is when I actually got the is actually when I first got an Xbox 360. Uh that was like the first Black Friday thing that I pretty much experienced with my dad. We yeah, the Xbox 360 just maybe it came out the previous year. I don't know exactly when he got me that. I think it was like a year into its life cycle.
So those were the big Black Fridays when you'd get like game systems and stuff.
Yeah, so this was kind of a thing where they lived pretty close to a Walmart, and we went to this Walmart and we were just kind of looking around whatever. And so I didn't know it at the time, but my dad, he just kind of sent me to go do stuff. I just was walking around. It was probably wasn't the best call to send your child to go walk around Walmart while Black Friday's happening.
Yeah,
Probably
it is
isn't
kind
the
of crazy.
Yeah, in hindsight, probably wasn't the safest thing. But he decided to stand in a line. I didn't know what the line was for. I had no idea. And
Well, apparently
yeah,
it was for
yeah,
360.
he sat in line. I don't know how long exactly it was, but then it finally opened, and so all the guys started rushing through the line. And sure enough, Dad came out of that line, and he had a nice white Xbox 360. He was the third to last one to get an Xbox
Then they
360.
ran out or what?
Yeah, then they ran out of it for deal.
Man, weren't those the days?
I don't know how good of a deal that he got on it. He must have got a pretty good deal if he was standing in line for it.
Well, maybe, maybe not. Maybe the deal was that you got one. I mean,
Yeah, I feel like there had to been some sort of sale.
back
on
then
it.
it seemed like it was hard to get systems. Like when the Wii came out, it was hard to find the Wii.
I don't know if the 360 or like PS3 had that issue.
I mean,
I don't know if they had that issue.
definitely not like the PS5 and Xbox Series X.
Yeah, I knew the
COVID
Wii was
really,
kind of impossible to find for a while
Wii was
there.
pretty rough.
Yeah, because then I remember my sister got it for her birthday. She got it as a birthday gift, and we were all freaking out when she got a Wii for her birthday.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was like the first system with the motion.
Oh yeah, the motion stuff and everything. Yeah,
Maybe not the first one, but at least it was
no, it was.
revolutionary.
I think it really was the first with motion.
Pretty revolutionary in video
Yeah,
games.
it was very revolutionary for the time, and it paved the way for the Switch and all future Nintendo stuff right now. But yeah, he got me third to last Xbox, and that was like one of the best things that I have ever gotten out of a Black Friday deal. I remember.
Hey, did you finally get to play your Burger King game? The game your mom got you thinking it was an Xbox game?
I think I played. So I got the sneaking one, and then I got the racing one. I think I played a little bit of the racing one.
I just imagine Burger King games weren't that good.
No, because one was a Mario clone, and then one was the king sneaking around in people's houses, like advertising Burger King to them or whatever.
What
I,
the hell?
I didn't play that one. I played the racing one, and I don't know. I don't.
Sounds pretty dumb.
I don't think I enjoyed it very much.
Sounds pretty dumb.
I think one of the first games I ever played on there was a Kung Fu Panda game.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I
360 had some good games.
It did, and that Kung Fu Panda game, I had some very fond memories of that game.
I remember playing, well, obviously Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2,
Yeah.
360. I remember playing a good Sherlock Holmes game, and
Oh, was that like with Robert Downey Jr. adaptation?
I don't remember.
Oh,
But I think you could also play like 360. I think you even had like Call of Duty like 2 and 3. It had a lot of games
It
on there.
did, really did. Yeah, that
A
console.
lot of games. And
That
then
console has had a lot of things for it.
I mean, then you're probably thinking it also had Modern Warfare, Modern Warfare 2. It
Yeah.
probably had World at War. I mean, it had a lot of Call of Duties on it. PS3 and 360, they had a lot of games. Probably 360 more. I mean, I think
Yeah.
360 was kind of bigger than
Well,
PS3.
and like in the Call of Duty sphere, they actually had the rights to Call of Duty for like 10 years or whatever, 10 or however many years it was. And then Sony picked up the licensing, I think, when Call of Duty
Well,
Ghost came out.
boy, have the tables turned because now 360 has
Yeah,
the
now
rights
they
to Call of Duty again. But
now they have it on the newest Call of Duty on Game Pass, and
probably their best interest.
soon they'll be getting all the old Call of Duties also on Game Pass as well.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I'm very excited to play some older Call of Duty games again.
Probably in their best interest though to keep making it for PS5 too.
You know, another series that I've also have had an interest in playing in lately was old Battlefield games.
See, I never really got into Battlefield. I was more Call of Duty.
Oh yeah,
Mostly Black Ops.
For a
games.
stint there, I had some buddies that would play Battlefield, and so they got me into it. I was big into Battlefield. I think the one that really like sold me as a Battlefield fanboy was a Battlefield 1. That was their World War One game, and that game was, to this day, very cinematic. A lot of love and attention went into designing in that games. I feel like all Battlefields that came after it just did not do it as well as Battlefield 1. And yeah, I remember playing that game all the time. And yeah, I have very fond memories. So fond memories that yeah, it was free actually on Game Pass. I actually downloaded it again on PC. And that's a hard game on PC to play. That's a hard game. Cuz I was playing on Xbox One. But when you get to the PC crowd, those guys are freaky good at that game. And you will just completely get destroyed with a mouse and keyboard, like right away. Something about a controller, everyone was kind of, you had the aim assist or whatever on controller, but mouse and keyboard, yeah, it's a totally different game.
And you're talking Call of Duty 1?
No, Battlefield 1.
Battlefield 1.
Battlefield 1.
Sorry,
yeah.
Battlefield 1.
Yeah.
So that had
but all
multiplayer.
in all, yeah, I started playing again. I probably logged in like, I don't know, 6 hours or whatever, and yeah, it's still a phenomenal video game.
What's your favorite video game you've ever played?
What's my favorite one I've ever played?
Yeah, that's a tough one. I know it's a tough one for me too.
Man, yeah, that's a hard question.
I probably got two.
Oh, really?
I'd say Black Ops 2 or GTA 5, and I think a lot of people would say GTA 5 just because
probably
of
a
how
lot of
amazing the
people would
graphics
say
are.
GTA 5.
But Black Ops 2 was also a really good game.
They're still coming out with updates for that. I don't know when GTA 6 will even come out at
Probably
this point.
late next year.
Do you think late 2025?
That's what they're saying, but then I feel
or
like
it could go
into
into 2026.
That's kind of the thing that's been happening with games is they keep getting pushed back. I would say 2026.
Yeah, that's...
All I'm saying is it better be good.
That's kind of wild.
It better be good because, I mean, we've been waiting like over 10 years.
Oh, way
by the
over
time it comes
way
out.
over 10 years.
Came out my senior year of high school.
It'll about to, like, if it comes out 2026, it'd be 13 years.
I mean, that's
Or
kind of
12 years.
ridiculous. I mean, I'm sure it'll be worth it.
Can you just like going back to when GTA was released? Can you even picture it without the GTA Online?
You talking like GTA 4 or
No, GTA
5.
Online. Yeah, because
yeah. When I first played online, when I started playing GTA 5, it was garbage.
Well, there's that, but it wasn't even a thing. It wasn't even a thing for the first year of the game. GTA 5 multiplayer was not a thing.
Wow, I don't remember that.
Yeah, it was
I
not a
remember
thing.
when they did start the online that it was
Yep.
garbage.
Yeah,
Everything was super expensive, and you'd only get like $1,000 for
a
completing
mission.
a mission.
Yeah.
It
I
was
remember grinding
garbage.
missions on GTA 5. I remember grinding a lot.
Yeah, you couldn't
There was like
make
this
any
one
money, and then
mission that you could do all the time. So it was like a car, like you had to keep a car pristine kind of mission. It paid out a ton of money. But yeah, it was not very good. But yeah, that GTA Online has definitely over these 10 years
it's come a long way.
has definitely come a long way from what it was.
Dude, I would always play the blow up missions.
Oh yeah.
You'd go to the car dealership and you'd have to blow up a certain amount of cars.
Yep.
I'd play those over and over again for
Mm.
easy money, or I'd play the Gerald missions,
Gerald. Yes.
or I don't know, the repo ones.
Yeah, the repo missions.
Yeah, I
Right.
mean, it's way easier to make
Have
money
you
on
heard
there
of I get back to your what's my favorite video game. Have you heard of like the GTA 5 RP servers? Have you heard of that before?
No.
So it's specifically PC. That's what it's used for. So RP means role play.
now. Oh, the modded ones where they like pretend to be
yeah,
cops.
so they have a big community. Hundreds of thousands of people watch GTA roleplay where people make their own characters, live streamers make their own characters and whatnot, and they roleplay in GTA 5.
I mean, it's all modded, right? Like,
Yeah,
'cause
it's
they do stuff you can't do regularly.
yeah, they have modded it to a degree where you can do way more
Like
than
they're
what's
actually being
yeah.
a cop and pulling people over. And,
Yeah. There's a lot of different things that you can do, and it's really cool. For a stint there, it was all the internet could really focus on. There was some high end like Twitch streamers playing it. So I would watch a little bit of it. That was kind of cool. But yeah, it still has. I think the client that they use is called No Pixel. I think that's what it's called. I've always wanted to do a little some of the RP servers.
yeah, that'd be cool. I always picture the
Yeah.
video of Franklin playing the piano to Vanessa Carlton's. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
And he's like riding down the street on a piano.
That's that's one of my favorite videos. Same with the Franklin and his friend Lamar or whatever.
Lamar, yeah.
Lamar. Yeah, that one scene where he's like telling him off with his yee ass haircut.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you know that scene. Yeah, GTA 5's quite an amazing game.
It'd be
Even like nowadays, a game still looks like it could have came out like
it
yesterday.
came out like 11 years ago. And
Yeah,
it
it came out in 2013.
and that was the graphics we got 11 years ago.
Exactly, and that game looks absolutely still stunning
And I
to
can-
this day.
I can see why it's taken so long to make GTA 6. If it's not perfect when it comes out, they're gonna get ripped.
Yeah, I feel like the expectations are so high right now that
It may
it's
not
gonna
even
get ripped
be-
anyways.
Yeah, it may not be able to be as good as people want it to be.
Yeah.
I would just be happy if it was a map where you could actually go into more buildings.
Yeah,
Because I hate the fact that you can like go all around
yeah,
Los
Los
Santos,
Santos.
but you can't go into very many buildings.
Right. I feel like they started doing that in the future updates where you can actually go into like a casino, go into like more buildings. But yeah,
I just want it to be more realistic.
it
like,
took a long time for that.
I want it to be more realistic where you could go like into any business and like,
Right. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. All I care about is this next GTA.
Will you play it?
Oh, most definitely.
Me too.
Almost
I
definitely.
mean, that
the only
money,
bad
that
part-
game will make so much money.
The only bad part is I don't even think it's for PC yet.
It may not release on PC right away.
Maybe
It
a
might
year
just be the
later, but
system.
that's wild that it's not on PC day one. Um, but yeah, for all I care about them adding in GTA 6 is Florida Man. I want to see where they take the Florida Man like storyline.
Oh
I just
yeah, I
hope
think I know who
Florida
you're
Man
talking
is a
about.
persistent storyline in this whole entire game because it takes place in Miami. So Florida Man's gonna be in that game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for
Oh, I hope
sure.
we have like whole Florida Man missions. Like Florida Man tackles alligator in the middle of a Waffle House parking lot. I hope there's some
Yeah, there better be a
buck
Waffle House
wild.
in there. There better be a Waffle House in there.
They'll
Even
have
if it's
the
called
they'll have
Blawful House or something like that,
the
or
blue waffle
Falafel,
house.
Blue Waffle, or
Yeah,
Falafel
the blue
House.
waffle. Yeah, they'll just call it the blue waffle.
Better be some Pibswasser trucks driving around.
Some Pimswasser.
Pibswasser.
Yes. Yeah, I
Fill
totally
your
agree.
tank with Ron.
All right. So back to so you said Black Ops 2
That's
and
probably my favorite. One of my
and
favorites.
GTA 5 where it's your favorite game. Um I'm going to probably have to go if I had to put a pin what my favorite game of all time. And this is of all time, right? Or is this of
Yeah,
this?
I'd say all time.
Those are your picks for all time?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, I've had some fond memories of Black Ops 2 and GTA 5 for sure, for sure. Um, I would honestly, if I had to put a game on top that for replayability and doing whatever in the game, it's probably got to be Breath of the Wild for me, like a Zelda game.
Oh, okay.
I'm thinking Zelda game, like a lot of Zelda game. I could have probably said Ocarina of Time. I could have said Majora's Mask. But I would say Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. Um, when that game came out, that game completely just did so many things right off the get go. Usually, it takes like when you try to do new concepts in your game. Usually, it takes a little bit of a period to get your audience to adjust to the game. But they really just nailed it out of the park with this game. The whole open world aspect's awesome. Uh, the story that you try to piece together in that game is, you know, awesome. And you can basically you don't have to do any of the storyline. You can rush to the final boss fight if you really wanted to right away, right when you get out of the starting room in the game. There's just endless possibilities. People have broken this game. People have sped run this game, making optimal routes. It's a crazy game.
Lots of
That
different ways to play it, huh?
there's so much to do in that game that yeah, I would say it's probably one of my most favorite games of all time. If I'd say,
Awesome.
yeah,
Awesome.
yeah, it's a really really solid. Have you ever like cried at a video game? Have you ever cried?
Cried?
Yeah, are you an emotional guy, Josh? Are you emotional?
Mm,
How emotional are you?
every once in a while, but
Every once in a while, have you ever cried at a video game? Because I know
um,
I have. I have. I got a little bit of emotional side. I don't know. Believe it or not. Believe it or not, I have
yeah,
some sort
kind
of
of
emotion
surprised.
in this dull husk of a body.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever cried at a video game. Not that I know of.
No.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I've had some. I've had some emotional, beats. I think I've cried at like a Kingdom Hearts game at one point. Kingdom Hearts or a Zelda game. I think I've cried at one of those games one point or another, but there wasn't like any storyline that gripped you so much that you were just like, "Oh, I care for these characters so much."
Not really.
Yeah.
Not really. I don't. Man, we must play different games.
Well, I mean, you know, you probably had a lot. I go for more storyline games, single player games.
I hear you.
But you played a lot of single player games, haven't you?
True. You know what game pissed me off?
Uh,
Uh, Far Cry. What was it? Far Cry 5.
oh, I bought that game.
Yeah, Far Cry
Yeah, in
5.
Montana, right?
Yeah, the ending really pissed me off.
See, I was
The
playing.
ending fucking pissed me off.
I was playing with a buddy. Like my buddy and I, we were playing that game. We got like maybe halfway through the game, and then we just kind of never played it ever again. So I never saw the resolution to that game.
Great game. Beautiful.
I thought it was beautiful. I thought
Beautiful
it had some good
scenery.
mechanics into it, but it had a bad ending.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Because then it spawned into another Far Cry game.
Far Cry New Dawn.
Yeah, that
It
was
was
in.
basically
Wait, no, no,
fast.
no.
Well, Far Cry New Dawn was like 20, like a
Wasn't
certain amount of years into the
wasn't
future.
that the prime? Wait, what was the? Oh no, that was Far Cry
Far Cry
Primal.
5. No, Far Cry Primal was like an earlier game.
That was a
But if you're talking
BC game.
Far Cry 5, then there was like a sequel
Yeah,
like a year later
what
called
was that called?
Far Cry New Dawn.
That's New Dawn.
And that was like so many years later.
Yeah,
in
wasn't
Hope
it like
County.
apocalyptic kind of
Well,
like?
the first one ended.
Uh,
The main antagonist was correct. The
Oh.
apocalypse did happen.
Yeah.
And there was like nuclear blasts.
Uh huh.
And him and the main character of Far Cry 5, the deputy, the unnamed deputy, like he pulled him into a bomb shelter at the end. And then in the next game, it's there's other antagonists, and
Sure.
they go to talk to the antagonist of Far Cry 5 for asking for help,
Mm-hmm.
and you find out the deputy from Far Cry 5 is alive, but he wears a mask, and he's called the Judge.
Spoilers, by the way.
Spoiler alert!
Spoilers.
Alert! If you haven't played Far Cry 5 or Far Cry New
Yeah.
Dawn and you think this is a spoiler,
You
the game
don't.
came out like 5.
You don't need to play
5
those
years ago.
games. You don't need to.
I
Like they're
would play
solid
Far Cry
games.
5 though. It was a good game.
Honestly, I think Far Cry 3 was probably the breakout game of the Far Cry series. Far
See,
Cry
I was
3
a late
was the
Far Cry
one.
player.
Yeah, that was the one that was like super controversial. Like the main antagonist in the game. He's like actually batshit crazy. Like he was. I think that's kind of what like later Far Cry games tried to copy that same exact formula, but not in a very good like way. It seems like they always just try to like they want to copy on a successful thing they've done in the past, but then it seems like they fail miserably about it. Ubisoft games, it's something about Ubisoft games.
See, I'm a late bloomer on some of these games. Like I played first Far Cry game I played was Far Cry 5.
Yep.
First Fallout game I played was Fallout 4.
Me too.
First,
Well, actually, I
first
played Fallout 3.
Elder Scrolls game I played was
Six.
Skyrim.
Oh yeah. Oh, you didn't play. Oh, you didn't play any other.
I tried playing Oblivion after the fact,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
fourth one, and it was like not even. It's like Skyrim is its own game.
Yeah, Skyrim's still amazing.
Skyrim is its own game.
Yep.
You play Elder Scrolls Online, it is not the same.
No.
It is way different. I was thinking, oh, this is great. They have an online. No, it's nothing like Skyrim.
No.
Nothing.
Sadly not. So yeah, you didn't really get to. You're kind of experiencing all these things a little bit later. Like you experience the later entries and not the beginning entries for a lot of things.
Yeah, but it seems like the earlier games were kind of different anyway.
Yeah.
So it's not
Yeah.
like I would have necessarily liked those games.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But if you were someone that was growing up with those games just to see their progression, you'd probably be pretty happy. Probably be pretty happy to see the progression of your game, like your favorite game franchise being really good. That's how I was with like the BioShock franchise.
See, I never really played
You
those,
played-
but I know a lot of
Didn't
people
play
like them.
BioShock? I like BioShock. BioShock was fun. BioShock was real fun. I think 2 is probably the best one. Infinite was interesting. Had a really cool ideas and still I'd say improved on the second system, but fell apart kind of in the plot department. Um, I kind of wish they'd bring BioShock back. They need to do something with that IP because I know a lot of people, they do in fact miss that IP a lot.
Well, you never know. They
A
could in
lot,
the
a lot.
future.
Yeah, and I think there's a definite possibility.
Sometimes it seems like they wait a while for games. Like apparently they're making a new 007 game, which is kind of surprising because it's been a while.
Yeah, but that doesn't shock me.
No, like just kind of wait a while if one doesn't turn out well, and
Right.
hopefully this one turns out better.
Yeah.
Imagine it'll be something kind of like the Hitman games, not necessarily like
Oh,
that, but
yeah.
you know, espionage.
You got to capitalize on more money. Capitalism, baby.
Yeah,
You got to make the money.
been a while. Better make another one.
Got to strike while the iron is hot, like most companies
Shoot,
do.
I'm wondering when there'll be another Watchdog game.
There's a movie coming out. I'm pretty sure of that here soon.
Watchdog Legions, I think it was called, was pretty good.
Yeah.
I think it happened in London.
I'm
That was a
pretty
good
sure
one.
there's a Watch Dogs movie coming out in.
Is that another Ubisoft?
Yeah, that's another Ubisoft games. Yeah, Ubisoft.
Ubisoft, they got that. They got
Assassin's Creed,
and
Far
they got Far
Cry.
Cry.
They got Rainbow Six.
Oh, so they own all the Tom Clancy games.
Yep.
Oh yeah, like they made Ghost Recon
Recon,
Wildlands. That was
you
a
know.
good game.
Yep.
You know it's the same person because the Far Cry games and the
Yep.
Ghost Recon, it's all the same concept, you know.
Yep.
Like the games are the
And
same.
then they have
layout.
the Division. You ever play the Division?
I heard good things about the Division. I didn't
Yeah.
necessarily hear good things about the Division 2.
The Division 2, I didn't really keep up with it.
I know the Division was like crazy popular.
I know it kind of flopped in a sense. I like the Division 1. There was a few. The Dark Zone is a whole nother story, but the Division 1 was pretty good. Ubisoft games in general are just kind of almost feel like more cash grabs. Like I haven't been too hot on the recent Assassin's Creed launches. That's one of my favorite
No.
gaming franchises. It seems like they're just all right. Let's
Throw another game
throw
out.
you in the middle of the middle of the map. Okay, there's tons of icons. Go collect them all. And back when I had time for all that, I'm like, hell yeah, let me go collect all these items. I'm so excited. Now it's just like I see so many icons on a map. I'm like, oh God, it's so tiring. I'm like, I don't want to do it. This is all useless. Why do I have to? Yeah, that's how I feel about Ubisoft. But I feel like we talked about
Yeah,
a few.
I think we hit some good topics.
Yeah, I feel like we had some pretty, just kind of ramble sesh. Next time we'll definitely probably have another
Main topic.
a main topic to talk about. But I thought we'd just kind of ramble
Free ball today.
for a little bit and
Spitball.
yeah. So thank you,
Yes.
thank you everyone
Episode
for
6.
listening
Thank
to
you.
episode 6 of the Midwest Take. We appreciate you as always.
And if you keep
And yeah,
keep on trucking, we'll keep making episodes.
yeah, for sure. Every week on Wednesday we post. If you would just leave a like on the podcast, it really helps. And comment if you want to possibly have us talk about any other future topics. That would be much appreciative.
Yeah, we can get a feel for what people want to hear.
If you want to send in some of your stories, it doesn't even need to be about the Midwest. It can be, whatever you have going on in your life. We might read it on the show. Yeah. So it'd be much appreciative. Thank you to all of our listeners. Thank you.
Thank you, and have a good one.
Yeah, have a
Appreciate it.
good one. I'm
Thanks
your
for
host,
listening.
Jacob, and
I'm Josh.
and that's Josh. And everyone have a great night.
Thank you.
Bye.